y'all doing tonight? My name is Bigbobbedboi. Welcome to a Hunter's Guide to AQ20 loot. AQ20 is a really interesting raid, although aesthetically it's absolutely disgusting, but it has some fun bosses and worthwhile rewards. Although if we're already fully BWL gear, there's not a lot of gear here we really need, so keep that in mind. Like ZG, it's 20 man and has a lot of things outside of boss drops. So as usual, we will cover those first, then break it down boss by boss. First is the reputation we'll be receiving, that mainly being Cenarian Circle. You might already have a decent amount of CC rep, since you can get it by doing things in Silithus like the quests and Twilight's hammer stuff. Now the actual rep rewards aren't anything great, they're all crafting related, and most of that is just resistance gear, so there's nothing there that's going to blow your balls off. You do however need CC rep for some gear turn-ins. So in the raid you'll find 3 turn-in items. You'll have scarabs, idols, and then the Ahn'Qiraj items, which would be drape, rings, and hilts. You need a combination of these items and rep to get your hunter set pieces. Those being a ring, a cape, and one-handed weapon, and those make up your 3-piece set. Each piece needs 2 sets of 5 scarabs, 2 idols, and the corresponding Ahn'Qiraj piece. You can get the scarabs and idols from mobs, bags, and also these chests here. Scarabs and idols are easy to get, you'll be swimming in them. Just make sure you have the correct ones a hunter needs for the specific turn-in that you're doing. And just to note, the Ahn'Qiraj pieces only come from bosses. Alright, so the ring needs honored rep, 5 clay scarabs, 5 gold scarabs, 2 amber idols, and the Ahn'Qiraj ceremonial ring. The cape needs revered rep, 5 crystal scarabs, 5 stone scarabs, 2 lambent idols, and the Ahn'Qiraj regal drape. The weapon needs exalted rep, 5 bone scarabs, 5 silver scarabs, 2 azure idols, and the Ahn'Qiraj spiked hilt. Alright, now let's go ahead and talk about the set pieces themselves. The cape is pretty good. If you're down on hit, it's a very solid choice. The only other hit cape I can think of is the Zulian Tigerhide cloak from High Priest Phenoxus, and this is a straight upgrade over that. It's still 5 agi lower than Cloak of the Shrouded Mists, so if you don't need the hit, you'd be sticking with Mists. The ring is also not terrible. I'd like it to have some hit or crit on it, but 19 agility is still solid agility for a ring. However, even something like Tarnished Elven Ring has 15 agility and 1 hit. Band of Jinn has 14 agility, 1 hit, plus the set bonus. Ultimately, it's not a bad ring, but there are a lot of good rings for hunters, so you'll probably not end up using it, and just stick with something like the Jinn set. The weapon is a real letdown though. It's 16 agility and some MP5, and yeah, no thanks. It's better than Bone Slicing Hatchet, I guess, but if you're doing AQ20, you can get the Hakar weapons, and both of those are better. The 3-piece set bonus is also pretty sad. On a good day, my pet does 10% of my damage, making this like, what, 0.3% damage increase? Nah. The other rep you'll get in AQ20 is Brood of Nozdormu rep. However, it's very little. I'm pretty sure you get it from bosses and turning in Osirian's head. The quests for your set pieces don't give Brood rep if I remember right, but I'm not 100% on that. Brood rep does give you a very nice ring starting at friendly that upgrades as your rep does, but again, very low Brood rep in AQ20. It's mostly an AQ40 thing, just something to keep in mind. Up next is skill books. So every class gets 3 skill books in AQ20 that give a new rank for existing spells. No one gets any outright new spells. For Hunter, we get Serpent Sting rank 9, Multi-Shot rank 5, and Aspect of the Hawk rank 7. So with that, Serpent Sting goes from 490 to 555 damage. Multi-Shot goes from 120 to 150 damage, And aspect of the Hawk goes from 110 to 120 ranged attack power. Now skillbooks only drop from bosses, if I remember right, and Osirian drops 2, the others drop 1. Alright, let's go on to the boss drops themselves finally. So the first boss is Ahn'Qiraj. He drops the Kiraji Sacrificial Dagger. Flat 20 attack power, nothing special there, that's outclassed by your Hunter weapon, the set weapon, and even Bone Slicing Hatchet, not that great. Sand River Wrist Guards are not as good as Bracers of the Eclipse, and obviously just trounced by Giant Stalker. So not a whole lot from Ahn'Qiraj, unfortunately. Second is General
Jax.
Wait. General Ray
Jax.
Whatever. He drops an extremely cool sword, but it's not that good, unfortunately. It's not good as a stat stick, and it's outclassed by Zenrock for melee weaving. So as much as I want to use it because it looks cool, it's not that good. Now these boots aren't terrible, as we discussed in the pre-raid BIS video. If you haven't seen that, check it out. Hunters don't get a lot of boots leading up to MC, but in ZG you can get blood-drenched boots, which are going to be better than these if you need to hit. Giant Stalker again, obviously better, but if you're stuck in 20 mans and good on hit, these are solid. Third is Mom. He drops a Ring of Fury, which is okay, but it's not as good as Tarnished Elven Ring, and we've already established hunters get quite a few options for rings, so you're really unlikely to use this unless you're a pretty fresh 60 that ends up in AQ20. He also drops the pattern for Black Grasp of the Destroyer, but I don't see a lot of reason for a hunter to wear this. We shouldn't be having such big mana problems that we need the mana drain. I mean, maybe it's just to make future Mom fights easier. I don't know. Alright, fourth up is Buru. And nothing. Yeah, he doesn't drop anything for hunters. He does drop books and Kiraji items, of course, but that's it. Man, I just realized hunters are so neglected by Blizzard. It's pretty sad. Fifth up is Amos the Hunter. Okay, Hunter is in her name. She has to drop some hunter gear, right? Well, she does drop a bow, but yeah, it's terrible for hunters. It's a middling speed. ZG's Gurubashi Dwarf Destroyer is better, and of course Rock is still better. Pretty terrible. Don't recommend it. Although there might be a decent expo somewhere here. Scaled Silithid Gauntlets. These are pretty average. They're about on par with like blood-drenched gauntlets from ZG. Nothing special. Giant Stalker, obviously better if you're up to 40 mans. Alright, well, Osirian is up next, and he's the last boss. And boss drops have been pretty terrible so far, so let's hope he's got something for us. Yeah, he does. Okay, Osirian's Binding. This is a very nice belt with a good stat spread. Even has 1 hit and 1 crit. This is better than Warpwood Binding. This is better than the ZG belt. This is better than Giant Stalker. Hell, this is even better than Dragon Stalker if you need the hit, and almost equal if you don't. Now, obviously, you don't want to break a set bonus like 8/8 Giant Stalker or 8/8 Dragon Stalker for this, but it's an extremely good belt and worth using in pretty much every other scenario. It's a really great belt, one of the best pieces out of here. Oh shit, look at how shiny this crossbow is. That is definitely some high gloss boat paint on there for sure. Now this X-bow is pretty damn good. It's a clear upgrade over Gurubashi Dwarf Destroyer. But let's compare it to Rock. So it's item level 73 and Rock is item level 75. Rock has a little bit better stats, right? It's got 1 crit, 17 ranged attack power with 44 DPS at a 2.9 speed. The X-bow, it is close though. It's 1 hit, 7 agility with 41.6 DPS, but it's slower at a 3.1 speed. Now the consensus back in vanilla was that the X-bow was an upgrade over Rock, and honestly I still think that might be right, but it's extremely close either way. I'm definitely going to try and pick up one of these to test and compare it to Rock, but again it's very close. One thing as well that you gain with the slower speed is that it makes it easier to melee weave, and I think for me that speed 3.1 is a good speed for auto shot weaving, making sure you're not clipping anything there, And slower speed is also better for stutter stepping. You want slower for that. Of course, Ahn'Qiraj is obviously still the clear winner. If it exists, that is, because I don't know, that shit never drops for me. And last is Osirian's head. So like the Heart of Hakar, he drops a head that you turn in for some CC rep, Brood rep, and a necklace. But the necklace isn't that impressive. It's just 16 stam, 42 AP. Eye of Hakar is better, and Ani Pendant is better as well if you're able to clear Ani. Alright, well that covers all the hunter loot in AQ20. I hope there's some things in there you're excited for. I know I want to pick up that Expo and try it out. That belt is also pretty sick. If you enjoyed the video, hit that sub button because I have a lot more WoW and hunter related content coming. If there's anything specific, hunter or WoW stuff that you want to see, please let me know in the comments below. Lastly, 95% of my viewers are unsubscribed, so any new subs greatly help me and really make the channel grow, and I seriously appreciate each and every one of them. But that's all for this one. I really appreciate you all watching this, and I will see you all for the next one.